afternoon, everybody. We are back with Scrap Mechanic Auto Racing League. This is now the B League. If you guys were not aware in the Discord, the B League is now open and has entries for at least 10 more racers, maybe 9 actually. We are here at a new rendition, an updated rendition actually created by Retro Doggo of Axolot Speedways. A lot of beautiful manicuring to the track, adds a lot more foliage and a lot more interesting stuff instead of having a kind of a boring flat land. So we appreciate that, Retro Doggo. We appreciate you, and we are going to get right onto the B League introduction. Introducing the racers for this B League. Up first, we have Red Racer by JJ Plays, Coffeemobile the sequel, Flair Coffee, Batmobile by Lamb Chop. We have the Ford Unicorn V2 by Retro Doggo. We got the Lazy Knight 2 by Laxon. We have No Clue by Nether Gamer, and as well as the Porsche 962 by Retro Doggo again. So far, this is all we have. We are going to hopefully have more entries coming in the next few races, and please again join the Discord. But right now we're going to have the qualifying round for race 1 of the B League. These racers are very eager after a long wait, a long time between the last race and this one. They've been doing a lot of practice, and we've made a lot of improvements. Some I will touch on during the race, but for now, we're going to get right into it. So we're going to have a standing start, actually, at this setup, just to keep everything fair, and I believe everything is set. The race control is going to give the green flag in just a moment, and there it is, green flag. Lazy Knight 2 gets a good jump out of the first 3 seconds of the race. Actually, can't complain about them. Up next, it is Unicorn. The Ford Unicorn makes a really excellent run and gets way in front of the pack, and that is going to put them in the front. It is going to be I believe, a 3-lap qualifying round as they go across the bridge trying to stay upright. A lot of the code has actually changed on their behavior, so making jumps a lot harder for them to handle, but it also adds a little bit more realistic physics. With 3 laps left to go, or really 2, and then about a quarter or 3/4, it looks like the Porsche has actually jumped their way up inside, getting in front of the Unicorn. Both of these owned by Retro Doggo, actually, and so it's going to be a very good finish if they can get 1-2 for the start of the official race. Behind them, though, is the Coffeemobile the sequel, trying to sneak their way in between the Ford and the Porsche, but cannot make it stick as the Ford holds them off. Going behind the line, you can actually see we have a little bit of a tree in the way there, but that is due to actually a new automatic camera operator that I have added, so I don't have to manually operate the cameras myself. I can just take the time to commentate and not have to do everything all at once or one at a time and take the time to edit everything. So that's been a good addition. It is still in a prototype stage, so please excuse the different mistakes you might see, and I will try to intervene as we see fit. But for now, let's get back to the race. It is 3 wide going into the second lap of the race, going into the bridge, actually. I believe this is turn 4, 5, and going into 6. As we go through here, it looks like it is Ford Unicorn that actually got around Lazy Knight 2, who came up and gave him a little bit of a battle, but it did not make it stick. So now Ford has over a second lead on Lazy Knight 2, with Batmobile trying to chase, fighting off the Porsche, but cannot actually fight off the Porsche. The Porsche comes through, but there's No Clue trying to come up the inside. No Clue going up the inside of all 3 cars, but can't make it stick as they almost lost grip on the very tight corner, very high speed and tight corner. You got to slow down if you want to keep the grip and not slide out into the other cars, and that puts No Clue back down into 6th place. Red Racer actually about 3 seconds back from the leader, trying to do their best to get into the positioning for a top 3, but it looks like Lazy Knight and the Unicorn the Ford are really getting away from it right now. They have still over a 3-second lead on the rest of the pack, actually, just to third place, excuse me. No Clue trying to get back into their slipstream, but it's going to be hard. These cars are going to have to work together on the final lap here to catch up to the top 2. For now, it is the Unicorn, Lazy Knight, and now we have No Clue getting spun out by the Porsche. No Clue knocked out of the rest of this qualifying round. That will put them in the back for the official race, and that was, oh my goodness. Was that intentional? Was it an accident? We don't know. We will have the stewards review, but there's not much we can do about it right now. Going over the bridge, the Porsche makes a decent jump, but might actually have to control, has to slow down significantly. Gets ran into the Batmobile. The Batmobile runs into the Porsche, in an attempt to try to correct their oversteer off the jump, and it actually ends up getting spun out. The Porsche actually stayed very solid and planted. It might be a little bit heavier than the rest of these racers here, and Red Racer is giving them a little bit of nudge to kind of probably test that theory. Looks like it will keep their place though. The Porsche now in 4th place behind the Kaufmobile. Actually, we're on board with them right now as they try to catch up, and it looks like they will try to go on the outside but can't make it stick. The Red Racer takes the opportunity to go on the inside, gets neck and neck with the Kaufmobile, or excuse me, the Porsche, and now in the front there, it's actually Lazy Knight 2. Lazy Knight 2 going for the win here, but can they get past the Unicorn? It looks like the Unicorn may have actually just barely snuck past them as they finished the line. Oh my goodness. And I believe No Clue has just been completely shafted. We don't know where they are right now. It looks like they are just finishing up. Yes, No Clue is just finished up right now, and that leads them to be in a very interesting position, but I believe that we'll finish the qualifying for the day. We will actually show the qualifying data hopefully soon once we can get this. After checking with race control, we actually ended up messing up the finishing board, so you can't see the official results, but as they stand, the intervals have it correct. The Unicorn barely beating out Lazy Knight at the finish line to get 1st and 2nd for pole position and 2nd place for the official race that's going to be coming up shortly. And then that is Kaufmobile, the sequel, Red Racer, the Porsche. We have Batmobile, and then No Clue, after a really bad mishap, getting stuck on a few things, coming back in over 20 seconds behind. Welcome back to the official race 1 of the B League of the Scrap Mechanic Auto Racing League. The cars are now getting onto their formation lap, getting ready to get in position. This will be a rolling start this time, so they will be a little bit spread out, but that will catch up in the 10 laps they have to make it around Axolot Speedway version 2, made by Retro Doggo. Everything is being set up. The AI has actually been improved significantly since the last time that we have seen these cars on this channel and an official race. There's been some improvements to their maneuverability, but most importantly into their racing line. You guys may have noticed that they have been taking actually proper racing lines, going into apexes properly, and actually making a lot more time. We have seen a save of at least a 1.5 seconds around this track and over 3 seconds on some other tracks. The new AI improvements have actually made these cars much faster, but also much safer in terms of crashing and spinning out with each other. However, they're not going to be perfect. Nothing's going to be perfect in this world, even in the real racing world. Nothing, there are crashes and mistakes. So, with that in mind, let's get to the race. Leading us off for this qualifying round, it is the Ford Unicorn V2, Lazy Knight 2, Kaufmobile the sequel, Red Racer, Porsche 962, No Clue, and the Batmobile, or Batmobile then No Clue. That will be our actual order for this official race. It's going to be a running start yet again. We're going to get right into the action very soon as these cars get lined up and all the driver info and everything is ready. All right, race control has them in line. Everybody is set up. We are ready to go. It's just up to the green flag and the leader. The Unicorn will make their first move. Let's see where they go. The Unicorn makes a move, immediately cuts off Lazy Knight 2. Lazy Knight 2 has to slow down to avoid the collision and gets backed and gets actually almost collided with by the rest of the racers. And that's Kaufmobile getting up in front of them. And there goes Red Racer going up into 3rd, nearly getting spun out, but actually holds it very well. Lazy Knight 2 actually falling down the order. Well, unfortunate start from them, but they have a lot of laps left, actually 9 laps left, of really 9 3/4 laps that have left, as we go on board actually now with, I believe we are with the 2nd place driver. Kaufmobile is chasing down Red Racer, flying around this corner as we're following them go through here, and they're trying to go up the inside, giving Red Racer a little bit of a nudge actually, and almost gets it around the outside though. I believe that is Porsche. The Porsche actually going around the outside, getting up into 1st place as we've watched them go underneath the bridge. I believe that is now No Clue, the last place qualifier, up into a good spot. Looks like Lazy Knight is having a horrible time right now. 20 seconds back already, along with the Unicorn. I believe they must have been involved in a sort of collision, but that is plenty of time for them to catch up. Red Racer, though, making a beeline into 1st place, trying to get as much of a gap as they can in front of the Porsche, but the Porsche using the slipstream, catching up easily, getting up at the line. That's going to let them have the inside run. They go into an inside run into 1st place, goes to Porsche 962. I'm sure the Retro Doggo is happy about that. But Red Racer actually fighting it off really well around the outside and actually gets the inside run now, going onto the turn 4 onto the bridge. And there goes No Clue trying to follow them through. But I think Porsche did block them off, but now, yeah, the Porsche now has to completely block them off to try to keep that position, and they can't make it stick. The Porsche has to stay slower on the outside to keep up with the rest of the racers and not spin out. But going around the horseshoe, I believe we're having some camera difficulties there. It's the intern. I'll just blame the AI intern that we hired to run the cameras, but we can keep that in check. Red Racer, though, still in front. Going underneath the bridge again, 8 laps left to go, 8.5. No Clue making a good move. Red Racer trying to stay on the outside line, does not go defensive, surprisingly, onto that, and lets No Clue just get right past. But Red Racer staying on the racing line, not going too defensive, trying to just stay and keep their marks, actually keeps themselves up in a second place and actually has the position to go into first onto the 7th lap, and actually goes into first before the lap. They might be practicing, trying to do exactly what happened to I believe that was Lazy Knight 2 earlier, when the Ford Unicorn caught them at the end of qualifying. No Clue actually falls back a little bit after getting passed by Red Racer. Red Racer has a massive mad dash to turn 4, turn 5, has no sign of slowing up. They're doing very well right now as they go across the bridge. A perfect landing by them. They actually land very well. Ooh, No Clue has a little bit of a slide, so we do miss a little bit of everything. But oh my goodness, Batmobile trying to make it up the inside. A narrow pass for Batmobile, but actually does make it work. And I believe we also have No Clue trying to get back past them all, but they've dropped back pretty far. Porsche 962 now a second down to Red Racer. We don't know what got in behind Red Racer, but there is a big gap, a 1.3 second gap actually, in fact, to try to catch up with them all. But it looks like they will not be able to, at least for the rest of this lap. The Porsche 962 is working their hardest to try to get there, but they're not doing very hot in terms of being able to. Back in the front, I believe it is the Porsche, actually, that is running, actually does catch up with Red Racer, not before the lap, but does actually use that slipstream on that long front stretch to catch up with Red Racer, and is now neck and neck, and now it's 3 wide with Coffmobile going very fast around the outside, makes that pass almost textbook, a very textbook pass, and gives them the lead. Oh my goodness, an excellent move by Coffmobile, the sequel there. You don't see that often, and when you do, it's not executed that greatly, so hats off to that driver. Oh, going around the outside there, you can see Batmobile actually makes a pass on the Porsche 962, who seems to got maybe even shaken up a little bit by that pass from Coffmobile, and drops back down into 5th place. You can see behind the screen that the Ford Unicorn is catching up. Lazy Knight 2 is about 9 seconds back according to the split timing board, and catching up actually will make the time to catch up by at least 3 laps to go. So let's root for them while they're trying to do their best and hitting their lap times. Speaking of lap times, we actually have a few stats about their laps here. It looks like the Coffmobile has ran a fastest lap of 1:09, as well as Red Racer running 1:11, got into 2nd place, running 11 as their fastest lap. A lot of different gaps in the lap times here, but you can see here Lazy Knight 2 ran a 1:07.9 as their fastest lap. That might be a lap record around here, as 1:08 and 1:09 and 1:10 has been sort of the average. So we'll have to double check with the actual records, historical records, but I believe Lazy Knight 2 has gotten the lap record around this track. But flying up front, it seems like anyone who gets up front in the first lap or first quarter of the lap just gets a good gap to the rest of the cars here on Axolot Speedway, because No Clue. Oh my goodness, a major crash. Oh my gosh, a major crash actually back there with a lot of cars. We're going to try to see if we can see who's going to recover and who recovers there, and we couldn't get there in time, but it looks like the Porsche 962 had a bad landing over the bridge and puts them 9 seconds back, and that lets Lazy Knight and the Unicorn pass them. But there is time for them to recover still, and so we will hope that they can, especially in this exciting race so far. But up front, it is Coffmobile battling for first with No Clue. No Clue trying to stay defensive and hold them off, but it doesn't look like they will be able to hold it off, because No Clue trying to go up the inside actually makes a mistake and has to slow down to avoid colliding with No Clue, and we'll see what they do here. But it looks like now, as No Clue battles with them, Red Racer is battling with the Unicorn, who's caught up to 5th place. Now they're all almost battling for first here. No Clue gets passed by Coffmobile barely on the inside and going into turn 1 on the, I believe this is the 6th lap. And No Clue, however, does have the inside line if they can hold that on around the outside. But here comes Batmobile going to try to make another pass. Probably saw what No Clue did there and is trying to copy it. Let's get this next camera here. There we go. Oh my goodness. A horrible landing for the Unicorn. This is probably what happened before. I do believe they might have some, not issues with their suspension, but the way that their car is built when they land on their front nose, that they collide with the ground, and that just causes them to nearly flip over completely and lose all their momentum. That is so unfortunate for them, but it looks like they did recover and are still in the runnings for first place, as it's now a 4-car battle for the lead as they go down the long bat stretch here underneath the bridge. Going through, I believe it is No Clue trying to get past the Batmobile. No Clue makes a really good pass, slows down on the apex to prevent them from going outside and getting the, what's it called, the old switcheroo done on them by the Batmobile. Batmobile tries again, but can't do it. No Clue up in front, Batmobile fighting for the back, or fighting for second, and actually will get past them into first place here. And I believe that is also Red Racer that tried to go around the outside but couldn't make it stick, and there, that opens the door for Coffeemobile, the sequel, to come through. Coffeemobile gets into third place. Now Batmobile is running off with it here at the beginning of Axolot Speedway, and there's the Unicorn fighting with Lazy Knight 2. They've been fighting in the back for a while, but here they are now in the top 4 seconds to fight from the front. If they don't crash on this over the bridge, we might be able to see an excellent 6-car battle for the lead. The Porsche 962 nowhere to be seen right now. It seems like they have been completely eliminated. Maybe they got crashed into, maybe they had another bad jump over the bridge, but they're going to have to do a lot of work if they want to catch up, but we might just solidify them as 7th place for now. Up in front though, the Batmobile fighting off Coffeemobile, No Clue, Red Racer, and now Lazy Knight 2 as they go down the backstretch using that draft, and there goes Coffeemobile, and there goes No Clue. Oh my goodness, a triple-double overtake there for all the cars, trying to make an excellent aggressive move as they get closer to the end of this race, trying to get in front, trying to stay in front and solidify their position for these points. This is a new set of season points, so these cars in the B League will not be on the same points scoring as the A-League cars. And there goes Red Racer, spun out by Batmobile. Either Batmobile was fed up or something, because now they have to reset. Oh my goodness. That's so unfortunate for Red Racer, because now they're going to be back there fighting with the Porsche, who actually just ran the fastest lap of 107.885, which is very impressive. But back to the front. Lazy Knight 2, Ford Unicorn, excuse me, that's a lot to say really fast. They go over the bridge, have a little bit of a spin out, but actually recover very well. The future tracks do not have as crazy of jumps or inclines, so you won't see as many crashes, and so these cars will still be tight, and so that'll be something exciting to watch for in the future. But right now is what we care about. No Clue has over a second gap to Batmobile, Unicorn, and a Coffeemobile. That gap actually closing so rapidly as the Batmobile uses that draft to get right there, right behind No Clue, setting them up for a perfect overtake going into the ultimate turn, right after the penultimate turn. On the outside even, Batmobile goes on the outside, loses a little bit of momentum due to a probably aggressive defensive nudge there by No Clue. So we'll not get the overtake before the line, but we'll have an opportunity to stay on the racing line and go for an overtake if, oh my goodness, No Clue makes an excellent defensive line against Batmobile there and keeps his first place. Batmobile is not giving up though, trying to go on the inside on this next turn, can't make it stick, going around the bridge. This is where a lot of stuff happens. There is 1.5 laps left to go here, and wherever the moves happen now is where the race will finish. Going forward, it's on board here with Batmobile as they battle very tightly with No Clue, trying to go around the outside. It seems like he can't go on the inside because on his left is Lazy Knight. If he opens up a gap, actually, Lazy Knight 2 will try to take that gap and get up into second place and then potentially fight for first. We are coming up on the penultimate corner of Axolot Speedway, and No Clue still maintains at least a half-second gap to all these cars, but that gap goes down, and it looks like Batmobile gets caught up behind Lazy Knight, but actually gets that move and bumps them out a little bit narrow. Lazy Knight has a great answer though, responds to that fight and actually gets on the inside of Coffeemobile, trying to stay there onto the ultimate turn. It looks like Batmobile actually up in front tried to make an overtake attempt actually on No Clue, but doesn't make it work, but actually does this time, getting in front of No Clue on the final lap of this race. If they can hold it off, Batmobile will get the victory for race 1 here at Axolot Speedways of the B League. No Clue now has to make a response, over a 1.25 seconds gap to No Clue now. That's dropping a little bit as they go towards the bridge. Lazy Knight now trying to see if they can find a way around No Clue, excuse me. And it seems like No Clue was oh no! As soon as I was saying, it seems like No Clue was demoralized. Batmobile has a horrible landing, overcropped the bridge, leaving them to be on the outside and having to recover and slow down. Luckily, they do not spin out completely and lose all of their momentum, but it looks like they are now in third place. Red Racer. Something happened to them and they are still back there, but they are catching up slowly, but it looks like they will not be there in time, so Porsche will get 6th place. But on the final lap, the penultimate corner of the whole this entire race, No Clue battles off Lazy Knight 2. Looks like Lazy Knight 2 is going to try their best, gets on the inside. Oh my goodness, up the inside. Oh, No Clue has to slow down, but here comes Coffeemobile. Here comes the finish line. What are we going to have? It's Lazy Knight 2 out of nowhere. Coffeemobile, the sequel, Batmobile, No Clue, and the Hoonicorn all within 2 seconds of each other. Actually, the top 4 all less than a quarter of a second of each other. And then finally finishing up everybody else, it is the Porsche 962 and Red Racer. Holy crap, there was so much going on there. I just couldn't piece it all together. That was an excellent finish by Lazy Knight 2. I don't know where that burst of speed came out of, but that 4-way fight for first place was incredible. Wow, what an excellent opener for the B League here at Axolot Speedway. You have not seen racing like that in a long time, partially because I don't know how to upload consistently, but also because this was insane. The improvements that we've made to both the track and the AI has made this race incredible. Congratulations to Lazy Knight 2, Coffeemobile, and the Batmobile for being your top 3 in the first inaugural race of the B League, of the Scrap Mechanic Auto Racing League. And now, to kind of show, we already know what the season standings will look like based off of the ending, but here is the final results. Lazy Knight 2 with 25 points, Coffeemobile with 18, and the Batmobile with 15. Following them is No Clue, Ford Hoonicorn, Porsche, and Red Racer. A really unfortunate race for the 6th and 7th place, as they were really top contenders at the beginning, but got unlucky over the bridge multiple times. But our next race will be going back to A League, and we will see a new track with some dirt on it, so that will be super exciting. So hope to see you guys soon then. But until then, I hope you guys have a great morning, afternoon, night, or evening, and I will see you next time.